the essence of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent.
How many men have children and the children never meet their father? See, you created a void in that child because you are a part of that child.
Black power! Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Are you feeling fatigued and can barely make it through the day without some type of caffeine?
Are you on a journey of healing your body but need a little help?
Then alkaline water is what you really need.
Alkaline water has many benefits. Alkaline water can help restore pH balance in the body. Consuming beverages such as soda and coffee can make your body acidic.
Did you know that too much acid in your body has been linked to an internet, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, autoimmune disease, chronic pain, and other chronic conditions like gout and arthritis?
Those who use alkaline water have reported increased energy levels, clearer skin, reduction in inflammation, better digestion, and many other health benefits. I've used alkaline water for years, and it's been instrumental in sustaining my health when I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis.
Are you ready to take responsibility for your body's health?
If the answer is yes, then our alkaline water is just what you need. Bring your own bottles. It's only $3 for each gallon. To place an order or for more information, you can reach us at 773-846-3091. Thank you in advance for your support.
Hi, my name is Sister Ebony Stevenson. I am your announcer for today. Welcome to the Toma Nation's weekly Sunday worship service from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. every Sunday at 616 East 71st Street here in Chicago, Illinois, and also live on Facebook. If you would like more information, you can reach us at www.facebook.com/TomaNation2 or give us a call at 773-952-8302. Now I am going to recite our opening. In the name of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent, the one who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, and the one who made time the seed of the universe, known among the ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amin-Ra and Aton, among the Hebrews as Ansar, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims and Islamic world as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah, Rastafari, among the Yoruba tribes of West Africa as Odumare, Eshu, and many other Orisha names. I bear witness that all of these names refer to the same one, Almighty Spirit, and it is to that essence which I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the Lost 13 tribe, born in North America and are of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the earth flows through our veins. I greet you in the ancient but holy words of peace, Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Habaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Now I am going to recite the 13 points of what we believe and know. Number 1. We believe and know that we are not to repeat the mistakes of the past prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator of the heavens and earth. Number 2. We believe and know that we can only establish an economic base through the application of the knowledge of self and the incorporation of the ideologies of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Mahatma Gandhi, and Ben Ami. Number 3. We believe and know that the prophets and messengers of the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and the Kemetic Holy Books were all black. Number 4, we believe and know that Jesus Christ of 2,000 years was and is a black man. Number 5, we believe and know that the knowledge of the Almighty Creator goes beyond books written by the prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator. Number 6, we believe and know that in order to promote and coordinate unity, we must first recognize and accept the uniqueness of being able to worship our Creator, regardless of religious denomination, name, title, ritual, particular dress, or holy book, as long as it recognizes the Almighty Creator of the heavens, earth, and the universe as supreme. Number 7, we believe and know that it is impossible to tell the truth without exposing the wicked governments of the world. Number 8, we believe and know that the United States government, in collaboration with other European nations, have a denial objective to exterminate dark-skinned people of color off the earth through the act of genocide. Number 9, we believe and know that some of the most effective methods that are being used today are AIDS, birth control, alcohol and drug abuse, vaccinations, gang and domestic violence, systematic elimination of trauma centers, the public school system, and public aid within the black communities of America and the world. Number 10, we believe and know that the last trick that Satan is playing on us is the dividing of us by our religious differences, religious gangbanging. Number 11, we believe and know that the conflict between the various religions are comparable to the conflict between various street gangs within the inner cities of America. Number 12, we believe and know that the war on drugs and gangs is a diabolical plot to disarm the black community of weapons, break up the black family, withdraw our constitutional rights, also kill and incarcerate young black males under the undercover code name April 2029. And number 13, we believe and know that every letter, shape, sound, and numerical value contains esoteric information that completely transcends the specific contextual meaning of the word. Our purpose: to bring about the growth of a righteous community in accordance with the laws of the Creator of the universe, under the leadership and guidance of Brother Minister Rahim Chesed Aton, to provide solutions to the social and economic ills that plague the communities of urban America. Our goal: to re-educate and retrain youth and young adults to develop positive moral values as an alternative to delinquent behaviors, because you can't rebuild a community and not rebuild the minds of the residents of the community to meet the responsibilities of maintaining the community's image. Our mission: to enhance the economic development of our communities by establishing businesses, real and personal properties, thereby creating jobs and/or entrepreneurship training programs that will reverse the concept of leaving the community to buying back the community. Our motto: let your light so shine before men that they shall see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Now we're going to recite our salute to the red, black, and green flag. Everyone put your right fist in the air and repeat after me. Here's to this flag of mine, the red, black, and green. Hopes in its future bright, Africa has seen. Here's to the red of it, great nations shall know of it. In time to come, red blood shall flow of it. Historians shall write of it, this flag of mine. Here's to the black of it, 400 million's back of it, whose destiny depends on it. The red, black, and green of it, oh flag of mine. Here's to the green of it, young men and women shall dream of it, face shots and shells for it, maidens shall sing of it, waving so high. Here's to the whole of it, colors bright and pole of it, pleased is my soul with it, regardless of what is told of it. Thanks to God for giving it, this great flag of mine. Please keep your right fist raised high in the air as we sing our Black National Anthem.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Black power, black power, black power. Black power is the power to define, develop, and defend that which is in the best interest of Black people.
In the name of the everlasting Father, he that causes all that exists to exist, he that is self-existent, he who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, he who made time the seat of the universe. He's known among the Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aton, among the Hebrews as Ansa, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah, Rastafari, among the Yoruba tribe as Olodumare, Obatala, and many other Orisha gods. But I bear witness that all of those names refer to the same one, Almighty God. And it is to him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we are the children of those Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, and that we are excuse me, I'm messing it all up. I'm gonna say it right. I boldly proclaim that we are the children of those Black people. I'm messing up that noise over there, just throwing me off. It's just loud. This next door church is. Those Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade are that lost 13 tribe, born here in North America, and that we are the Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the world flow through our veins. Thank you. I greet you all in the ancient and holy words of peace in the many different languages of our fathers, of Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Abarigani, Alafia, and Ashe. All greeting words and salutations of peace in the many different languages of our fathers. I greet you in peace. Welcome, welcome to Toma Nation, aka Temple of Mercy Association. I am Brother Minister Rahim Chesed Aton, founder of this great movement, along with our co-founder, Brother Minister Omari Jahi Aton, and our First Lady of this movement, Sister Makita Aisha Aton. Again, I say welcome, and this is the second day of the month of the year of June. And as you all know by now, we do have what we call our prescribed readings. And so Last month, we dealt with health issues, mental mostly, not too many physical, but a little physical and some mental stuff. Every month of May is known as Health Awareness Month in Toma. June, July, and August, we go into economics, Black economics. And for the month of June, we are in a book called Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. And I will read a little bit about him in a few minutes, but I really want to get to the anniversary of a economic empire that was destroyed by white people, Black Wall Street. Today is that particular anniversary of Black Wall Street. The thing about it is that it started at the last week of May, the kickoff, but it went on until about June the 2nd, when it supposedly was over. And I want to quickly read you a little bit about Black Wall Street so you'll know. I think it's the 131st year anniversary of this situation that took place. This is Black Wall Street, a thriving 36-block Black business district in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It housed over 600 Black-owned and operated businesses at the turn of the century. This self-sufficient community, often called Little Africa, consisted of hundreds of Black businesses functioning on local, national, and international levels. Little Africa embodied over 21 churches, 21 restaurants, 30 grocery stores, 2 movie theaters, libraries, schools, pawn shops, law offices, jewelry stores, a hospital, a bank, a post office, bus system, and 6 private airplanes. You know that a community is economically wealthy when they own their own hospital and they own their own bank. Believe me. On Black Wall Street, the dollar circulated 36 to 100 times, sometimes taking a whole year to leave the business district in North Tulsa. I may be saying it wrong. Tulsa. That's it. Most of the trading was done hand to hand, contributing to the wealth and intimacy of the community. Little Africa had approximately 15,000 citizens, some of whom came to Oklahoma by way of the tortuous Trail of Tears, others who migrated from the South. Once Black people settled in Oklahoma, they established over 28 townships. Many also acquired the promised 40 acres and a mule through marriage to Native Americans. That's how they got the 40 acres and a mule, because the Native Americans had actually gotten it. And so to marry a Native American, then they acquired the same properties. Many Blacks discovered oil on their land that ultimately contributed to the wealth of the community. Black Tulsa continued to thrive until the night of May 31st. See, May 31st, June 2nd. It was all over by June the 2nd. All right? No, June the 1st. June 1st, it was over. So it's like one night, basically. So that night, airplanes distributing nitroglycerin bombs bombed the affluent community, and an angry white mob began the destruction of Little Africa. The mobs burned and looted houses and businesses, killed hundreds of innocent Blacks. And then on the morning of June 1st, virtually all of Black Wall Street had been destroyed. The bombing of Greenwood, the once concentrated site of many Black businesses, looked very much like a war site. The district was a smoldering memory of prosperity. Over 3,000 Black people were killed, buried in mass graves, or thrown in the river. 503 houses were destroyed. The once self-sufficient Black business district no longer existed. Many families seeking refuge brought one-way tickets out of town, leaving behind remnants of their history, their homes, and their community wealth. Now, you all can read the rest, but this white mob were jealous of the prosperity of that particular town. And so what they did, they set something up whereby it always deals with a white woman, as if you messing with a white woman. He was supposedly, some guy among them, supposedly either bumped the white girl or stepped on her toe or something like that. And so they decided, oh, we're going to go get him. But instead, the real ulterior motive was they were wanting to destroy the whole town in the first place. And you know, this happens a lot, even when white police officers stop black people. They tell you something ulterior. It ain't the real deal. It's headlight out in the back. I mean, back light out on the left side. You didn't have your turn signal on when you made a left turn. Any little thing to come to try to get you to say something or do something that they will find a reason to arrest you for. And this is the same. It's almost just like it ain't never changed back then. How white people just trump up charges against you and things like that so that they can fulfill another motive that they already have. And one of their main motives here in our United States is to lock up all these niggas and put us in jail. 51, probably 60% of all the people jailed in the United States are black. But yet they call us 13% of the population. But with that many black people locked up in America, and America out of the whole entire global world has the most prisoners in their system than anybody else on the planet. I said America. And 67% of them are us. In a country that says it's only like 30, 40 million of us. So if 60% of the people in there are black, what's going on? All these stop and frisk, stop and search. What's going on? All of these trumped up charges now of our brothers and sisters in jail on marijuana charges. Now marijuana is not illegal to a certain extent, but yet you got white business owners with dispensaries out here making big money off of the stuff that put our brothers and sisters in prison and still languishing in prisons as we speak. But they can legalize it now, but they can't drop the charges on those brothers and sisters that are languishing in jail. Why? Because it's us mostly in there. I hope you all really understand this, because my subject is called Come Out of Her. But it's not, I've been saying come out of her for years and years and years. All right? So this come out of her is nothing new. It's actually old. See? So I forgot what was that last part to it? The sequel. Come out of her. So they've been destroying us and destroying our generations, generation after generation. And we don't have the sense enough to really see somebody's trying to kill us. We just moseying along, playing right along with everything going on in the world, while what you're seeing happening in Ukraine, what you're seeing happening in Gaza is about to come to a theater near you. And I've been saying it for a minute. So I might go a little overtime, I think, Minister Omari, because I ain't even got to my come out of her yet. So we're talking about wealth and riches and having some of the things in this world that we can call our own. And so we buy into the same do for self, when I say we, Toma, buys into the same principles of do for self as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. That's what we stand on. We also stand on a Black nationalist concept of doing for self and creating our own economy. There is a blueprint for our success, but we can't have it until we come together. And since we don't come together, we just can come together in different groups and factions. Like you got this Hebrew group over here. You got the Nation of Islam over here. You got the Moorish Science Temple over here. And maybe if they can come together and get some of this land and get some of this, like wealth is derived from the control of natural resources, processed resources, human capital resources, numbers. See, but we sit back and we watch others prosper. We sit back and watch others come into our community and get rich. We sit back and wonder how they get rich. And then most of our children, if they don't go to school or college and get a good job somewhere, all they can do is go outside and steal and rob and carjack as other ethnic groups come in and surpass us. It used to be black people in some of these malls around these places like AutoZone and what's them other places they call it? Where you go get your carpentry stuff. Y'all give me some names. When you get something to, to work on buildings and all that. Home Depot, that's another one. Menards. It used to be us looking at the Hispanics and saying, they here, standing out here and gonna get the jobs and all and whatever, the mow people's lawn and all this and that. Well, now it's the migrants fighting the Hispanics in these parking lots. We didn't even have sense enough to fight. And so now the Hispanics got the lawn mowing services. The Hispanics got the roofing jobs. And they ain't got nobody pushing up on them but the migrants. Not us. We're being pushed out. And see, Claude Anderson, this book, Powernomics, let me tell you what it was about. This was called the National Plan to Empower Black America. This was a 5-year plan to make Black America a prosperous and empowered race that would be self-sufficient, do for self, and competitive, like the rest of the other ethnic groups. And it was supposed to have been done by the year 2005. There was a 5-year plan. Here we are, 2024, and ain't started on his plan yet. I give kudos and applause to Dorothy Tillman, former Alderman Dorothy Tillman, who worked hard to bring Claude Anderson to Chicago as often as she could to get Black people to come in and hear this 5-year plan. She even resurrected some things in her community as alderman using his book. But the powers that be came against her, didn't really want that for us, and took her down. In this book, Anderson obliterates the myths and the illusions of Black progress, brings together data and information from many different sources to construct a framework for solutions to the dilemma of Black people. In Powernomics, the national plan, Dr. Anderson proposes new principles, strategies, concepts that show Blacks a new way to see, think, and behave in race matters. The new mindset prepares Blacks to take strategic steps to create a new reality for their race. It offers guidance to others who support Blacks' self-sufficiency. In this book, Dr. Anderson offers insightful analysis and action steps Blacks can take to redesign core areas of life, which are education, economics, politics, and religion, to better benefit our race. You all have to look up Claude Anderson. You'll hear more about him this month. We're in his book. You'll hear about what he did to create an Africa town in Detroit and how all of the different ethnic groups came against him. Well, Toma has a plan too, and I'm gonna show it to you. And then I'm gonna get off of it and tell you why I say come out of her. Because you can't keep on looking to the white man to give us what's supposed to be ours. If he's prospering and benefiting off of your current condition, why would he allow you to get into something that's going to remove that condition from you, and then they lose the income or whatever benefit we are benefiting them by our condition. They're not going to do that. That wouldn't make sense. So here's our blueprint. Now I'm going to give it to you quick though. I want you to see the front page. I can't see the screen, so I don't know which one it is. But I want you to see this page first. All right? And quickly I'm going to speak on it. Right there in that big square is Toma, the Toma Nation, teaching the oneness of God, being the voice and the conscience of Black America. All right? We receive fundings, not grants, funding to set up businesses. Where would the funding come from? The funding would come from Black businesses sponsoring our events and things, and we save this money. All right? We save this money to get farmland, which we do have farmland. We save this money to buy silver, gold, and diamonds, raw materials. And then we got to secure it. One thing we always forget to do, and this is why Black Wall Street failed. They should have set up their security first and then start building. You secure your operation first, then build, as long as they create that wall to keep the enemy out and then to keep it secure. So on your right side or your left, my right, that's the original Men in Black. We call it on here the military army. Then while we're doing that, the monies that we're receiving, we help other members go into business. As they go into business and set up their business, at the end of the year, 10% off the top of their gross comes back to Toma. So it keeps circulating, money circulating around. So you got those businesses, but it doesn't stop there. Those on that first level has to get someone else in business, have to use their money, their teaching, their training to put someone else in business. But those others that go into business don't have to be members of Toma. Just that first line has to be members of Toma. And each one repeat the same process and give back 10% to that person. And then maybe 1% will start coming up to all the way to the top. But we're perfecting it. So now, if you look at the second one, so you can understand what's really going on. Inside of that big square that you've seen on that first page, all of this on the inside is Toma activity. On the outside, that first line are Toma members bringing in non-Toma business owners and then bringing in non-Toma business owners all the way up to the 7th level or down to the 7th level. So meanwhile, Toma is beginning to prosper as a nation. All right? From the top down, the national representative, the Toma Nation or Temple of Mercy. And as you can see, we even have a school, University of Cosmic Intelligence, going straight down. We're talking about food, clothing, shelter, technology, health, and banking. Can you believe we forgot that? So we had to add that to it. Now going across there, you can see all that for yourself when you're dealing with food and whatnot, farmland, crops, all right? Livestock, what you call it? Well, fruits, vegetables, and stuff like that. All right, clothing, shelter, all of that. I'm going fast, but I'm trying to show you that there are blueprints set for us to be self-sufficient. Garvey had one, Elijah had one, Yahweh ben Yahweh had one. And they took all of them out except for Elijah Muhammad. He survived. And then Minister Louis Farrakhan came and has taken it to a level so high that it ain't going to be easy to take him down. But see, just like America knows that they're going to forever be a threat to somebody if they're a world power, so they never let their guards down. And no other nation going to let their guards down because they always knowing somebody trying to overthrow them. Well, that's the same understanding the nation got to have. They can't get relaxed because soon as there's an opening, the enemy going to come in and destroy it. The same way with any organization that's a nationalist group or any organization that thinks like Frederick Douglass told us to think. What did Frederick Douglass say? He said, those who profess to favor freedom, which we profess to favor freedom, and yet depreciate agitation. So now you got a group who want the freedom, but they don't want to agitate nothing. All right? They want peace, but they don't want the thing that leads to peace. Sometimes war got to lead to peace. See, we want certain things, but we don't want the sacrifice. We think it's just supposed to happen. But Frederick Douglass said, if you depreciate agitation or shy away from agitating, see, it's something that used to be on them old washing machines called an agitator. And that agitator got the clothes clean. And if you don't agitate nothing or upset nothing, you're not going to receive what you really want. You're always going to get a partial piece of what they call the pie or a slice of the cake. Now, we used to ask for a slice. Now we're asking for crumbs. He said that if you want freedom, but don't want no agitation, that's like people who want crops without plowing the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning. They want the ocean without the roar of its many waters. The struggle may be a moral one, or it may be a physical one, or it may be both, but it must be a struggle. Find out just what any people will quietly submit to, and you found out the exact measure of injustice and wrong which will be imposed upon them. You see, and this is why this stuff is rising. This police brutality is rising. The shooting and killing in the community is rising because we have quietly submitted to what's going on. No, there's no real fight. We just walk and march against gun violence. That's it. Nothing else. March. Walk. Still nobody finding out who's shooting. Still nobody investigating the police department. Still nobody investigating the Arabs and all these other owners coming into our communities, selling drugs and guns and loose squares to our brothers and sisters. Because we, the community, accepts it and won't do nothing about it. We, the community, won't agitate nothing. We back down, and when it's time to agitate, we don't want to upset our little comfortable spot. And we start making excuses. I don't want to be no martyr. I ain't want to be like Martin Luther King. You ain't going to be like them. Matter of fact, you either going to be like them or Pookie and Ray Ray who got shot on 63rd Street. One way or another, you ain't going to be here forever. So you might as well do something while you're alive that will lead toward our freedom, justice, and equality in this country. He says, and these will continue, and that's true, till they are resisted with either words or a blow or with both. The limits of tyrants are prescribed by the endurance of those whom they oppress. Well, right now, the only tyrants is those that are oppressing us because ain't too many activists being active no more. Not in the way it was and the way it still needs to be. And he said this in ending. He said, power concedes nothing without a demand. Not a ask, not a negotiate, but a demand. And when you demand something, if you don't get that demand, you don't give in to nothing smaller than that. See, this is when negotiation, brothers and sisters, become negotiations. And that's a lot of negotiating going on in our community among our so-called activists. A lot of negotiating. Y'all will figure out what it means. Now I'm going to move into why I said come out of it, because I already showed you what we got to come out of her in to come into. America is on its way down. So we got to get as much economic wherewithal and freedom to be able to do some things we need to do. God always create a window for people when things go wrong if you right with him. So we need to be getting double citizenship. Ghana, Nigeria, offering double citizenship to those in America. Stevie Wonder, the latest one who says he's moving to Ghana, just went over and got his citizenship just recently. That's a sign that's showing us that if a blind man understands, what the hell wrong with us who can see? So all we got is the time God given us to get our stuff in order. See, if something gonna happen to the economy and the money situation, then you need to be trying to get as much money as you can to save, to turn it into gold and silver. What I'm really trying to say is you got to be part of a group with a plan. That's basically what I'm saying. Because if you're out here alone, you're going to be right there, standing alone. America is falling, and we know it. Trump is helping. Biden is helping. And Netanyahu is helping bring America down. And if Trump get in office, he going to finish it, what he started. In Revelation, verse 1 to 6, I'm going to read as much as I can. Starting at verse 1. And there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials. I want to stop there real quick because I want you to understand. Those are test tubes. That's what a vial is. This is what I'm trying to show you, is that those people we call angels are scientists. Some say 24 elders or whatever you want to call them. And they're fighting with the scientists of this world. See. And this is John saying that they talk with him, saying to him, come hither, come here. I'm going to show thee the judgment of the great whore that sit upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of the abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Talking about America, y'all. And upon her forehead was a name written, not just Babylon, y'all, but Mystery Babylon. Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. In that word Babylon, you'll see what that's about in a minute. And I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yeshua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Okay, so now America in the Holy Bible is symbolized as the mother of harlots, the great whore, Babylon. America started as 13 British colonies. They later went against Britain so that they could become a United States separate from Britain or British authority. Today, they have named most of their provinces after provinces in London, which is a province in Britain. So when the Bible says Babylon the Great is fallen, then we know that baby/Lund or baby London must be America today. But America has a big smoke screen up called sports and entertainment so that you won't see that our world is tumbling down. Is that happening now?
Yes, sir.
I wrote this about 10 years ago, y'all. Still happening. All these award shows, award here, award there, award, 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 award. So if that's the case, and I'm saying that America has fallen, and the Bible says that America has fallen, or Babylon the Great has fallen, but it also says that it has become a habitation of devils. A habitat. That's a house of devils, a house of people who oppose God, a house of people who oppose right, a house of people who uplift wrong and downplay righteousness. Does that sound like America?
Yes, sir.
So if we're saying in Toma, come out of her, and the ones that are ruling this world are the opposers of God, then the first thing that we have to do is come out of her mindset and her thought pattern. And here is where we fail, because every part that represents her mind, we want to hold on to it. Every part, we want to hold on to it. This month, they call it National Pride Month. Look what they did. Y'all don't even see that. We got Bud Billiken Parade. We don't have Bud Billiken Month, do we? Do we have any month that truly, truly, truly pushes everything out the way and recognizes Black people? Don't say Black History Month, because you wouldn't even knew we had Black History Month if some of us wasn't talking about it. You wouldn't have knew it. But you're going to know it's Black Pride Month, because for the whole month you're going to see flags. You didn't see none of this? You didn't even see the Juneteenth flag during Black History Month. Nobody know. It's still Black people don't even understand Kwanzaa. Don't even know what it is. But everybody gonna know what Black Pride Month is. Here's a group of people, brothers and sisters, and I will say this, all right, who are trying to make a sexual orientation and ethnicity. Now, y'all look these words up for yourself. And this world, do not oppose it, agrees with it, and helping make it so. I oppose anything God opposed, and I keep with everything that he's for. Now I'm going to Revelation 18, 2 and 5. At 1:30, I'm going to cut off. And if there's anything left, we're going to come live again on Wednesday to finish. Revelation 18, 2 to 5. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. See, London is part of the British Empire. So when you say England or London and all of that, that's Britain. So don't be mistaken. And Britain are colonizers. They've taken over Jamaica and many other countries. They're all in Africa. So don't just look at that. The French is all in Africa taking over. Now the Chinese is down in Africa taking over. Everybody owning Africa but us. And that's a shame. Again, because we sit back and watch. Again, because we don't want to agitate nothing. But we look at little small groups agitating and we just applaud for them. We don't want to join them. But history shows they always get snuffed out because it ain't enough of us fighting for what we consider freedom. Some of us in our darkness and ignorance think we are actually free. How do you know, Brother Minister? Because we always run to the authorities when the authorities do something negative against us, thinking that they're going to go and look into it and come back and tell us we right. You know I'm telling the truth. Police kick you in the butt and everything, they go to the police board. What kind of, that makes sense? The CIA now today admitted that they were putting drugs in our communities back in the 90s. They admitted it now. And guess what our black congressmen did? They exposed them and came to tell their boss on them. They said, we'll look into it. Thank you. They came out, press conference. We looked, and we didn't find any evidence that what you're saying is true. So thank you. We now close this case. Just so that 20 years later, while most of us are older or dead, all right, they'll tell you it was happening. Because they got a new group coming up. I don't care what alphabet they call them. They got a new group coming up in their 20s. They got a new group coming up in their teen years right now. They got a new group coming up as children right now who don't know nothing about the 90s. Because anybody born in the year 2000 is 24 years old now. Anybody younger than that don't know nothing. Why? Because they separated black people from their children and grandchildren. Because they made us take on something else that white people are good at. And white people are good at putting their moms and fathers in senior citizen places and nursing homes and whatnot. Whereas black people didn't do that. When our people came up here from the South and went to the West Side, Ma and Grandma and Grandpa was there. They didn't like that because we were passing down knowledge and information that carries on and on. So now when the white man do something to us or some part of this government do something bad to us, they wait 20 years because they done already separated us. You don't want to go to the senior citizen home to hear Grandpa and Grandma because they ancient now to you. They even put these words in cartoons and things and different sitcoms so that you can buy into it and look at your grandparents like that. They fixing you. You know what y'all call it when y'all neuter a dog or a cat? Y'all say they got fixed. You all getting spiritually and mentally neutered. You're being fixed, brothers and sisters. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Why? They always tell you why. Says that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. There are some new cancers that are out that white people getting that we don't get. Names I ain't never heard of. But if we keep on eating how she eat, how America eats, and we keep on partaking in the same stuff they're partaking in, we're going to get it too. We're going to catch everything that they're catching. Syphilis and gonorrhea, that's old school venereal diseases. They got some venereal diseases out now that, like Richard Pryor has said, will scare the hell out of penicillin. Richard Pryor said that. But how did we get that, brothers and sisters? It was white people having sex with sheep. And the sheep carry a syphilis germ. And so the white folks caught syphilis, mated with blacks and others, and spread it. They even, because a dog is their best friend, had sex with dogs, with the female dogs, and caught gonorrhea. Gonorrhea is one particular germ that does not affect the particular animal, but look what it does to black people and white people and all of us because of the indecency of a white race. And mostly all the stuff that they do, if you go back to the root of many of these diseases, it came from something they did wrong, not from something we did. I'm showing you, this is why God's wrath is upon them. This is why God's curse now is upon them. To hell with them fancy homes and swimming pools and cars. Them same fancy cars, you driving your children to places for cancer research. You're driving your own self places. And he cried mightily with a loud voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of opposers for all of these things that God say don't do. This devilish world says okay. You hear it in our music. You see it every day on live vision and in the papers and on social media. Wasn't no social media at this time when I wrote this. All day we bombarded with all the foolishness of America and her ways. It goes on to say, it's the whole of every foul bird, crows, vultures, buzzards, in a cage of every hateful and unclean bird, seagulls, birds that eat dead flesh, a cage of every hateful and unclean bird. And look at us. We eat shrimp, chicken. We know the cows are mad, but we eat them anyway. And all of this stuff killing us, catching every kind of disease. Every animal that God made to clean up the ocean, every animal that God made to clean up the forests and the jungles, we put them on our plate because we saw the white people do it. We didn't touch those things. And now we got all kind of challenges with ourselves. All nations have drank of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth committed fornication with her. Saudi Arabia, Dubai. The merchants of the earth waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. I hate to say it like this, but it's almost like America being a whore, prostitute, sitting right there in the middle of nowhere with her legs open, drawing all the merchants of the world and everybody to her delicacies. Y'all got the picture. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Now here are the people that he was talking to. The ones who are called by his name, the ones who will humble themselves and pray and seek his face. They're the ones that he's talking to. And the ones who want to turn from their wicked ways. He said, then will he hear from heaven. Then will he hear from a high place. Then will you hear another thought come in your mind, and that's the mind of God talking to you in your mind. And you'll find yourself coming out. You'll find yourself fasting so that you can bring your desires under control, so that this world can't control you by your desires. You'll find yourself not getting angry so much at some of the things that you fighting to get because you see your next door neighbor with it or someone on your job with it. Maybe it's a car, some article of clothing or whatever, and you want it because you're caught up in the things of this world. We're unemployed, so we want to beg for a job instead of creating one. This book is on economics. It ain't on getting a job. It's on creating one. All these gifts and talents that we have, all these things we've invented and still inventing as we speak right now. But we can't take them and patent them and make them work for us to our advantage. But the white folks see it. That's why they ain't killed us all off yet, because we still creating. They don't ran out of stuff. If they can just keep a few of us and let us live good, we'll be creating. Forever creating. We ain't ran out. They have. They need us for that. So now they just try to kill off a few of us to balance out whatever it is they think is the population. But we already know the number that they don't want to hit. 1,000,000,008,000,000. They don't want to hit that number. And we know why. 1,000,008,000,000 of us. And their world is over overnight. There are some plagues that we have that's not supposed to be ours. But because we don't want to come out of her, we're going to suffer her plagues too. So we suffer because we don't want to come out of her. See, there's going to be a chosen few set apart. It's going to be so many black people dying, it ain't funny. I mean, being slaughtered, being killed left and right because we didn't want to listen, because we didn't want to get ourselves together. So we're receiving her plagues. You want to live next door to her. When I say her, I'm talking about whites in America. So when the hurricanes come and when the tsunamis hit, you standing there too. Because you thought that success was living next door. We don't want to come out. We got a problem. And verse 5 in Revelation says, and her sins have reached unto heaven. And now that he has decided to let us go, why? Because he got the Hispanics now taking our spot. And now they're moving in the migrants, and they're going to fight with the Hispanics, and we're going to be unheard of in certain cities. I ride through different suburbs and see the Arab community, the Chinese community, and other communities, our community becoming the Hispanic community. And the migrants going to be pushing on them to push them out. Where are black people going to be, y'all? Y'all need to think about that. Y'all need to think about that. But see, every black person I know out here mostly is every man for himself. And that's why we have a problem. Every man for himself. Or they'll use this term, me and my family. That's just an excuse. Because all of us can come watch other groups come together for a common cause. And it be so many of them. I remember one time the Hispanics was fighting about something and they went on a march and it went throughout the whole United States. You ain't see no black people trying to squeeze up in there. Come on, y'all. If we don't do nothing, then Frederick Douglass' stuff was in vain. Verse 5 in Revelation says, her sins reached heaven. See, and now that he decided to let us go, why won't we go? Do for self, be independent. Start right here on your own block. Start right there in your own neighborhood and spread out. We have a what we call a village concept of how we can spread out in 4-block radiuses and take over those areas and start getting the resources and stuff that we need in order to take back and buy back our own community. But y'all don't really want it. You don't want the work. You want the reward, but you don't want the work. And that's where we mess up at. See, we got to come out of her thinking. We got to. We got to be restored back to our former glory. You already know now they can't fool our children no more because we know that we invented 99% of everything that they use right now. Black people did. And you should feel proud to know that we're still inventing stuff because white people ran out of ideas. They don't have any more. We got to come out of her mindset. We've been coming to conclusions from a mindset given to us by the white rulers of this world. White people crammed all of the history that they learned into a time capsule of millions of years because they don't have the brain capacity to see too far beyond their existence on this planet. So we got to come out of her mindset. We can't believe we only been on this planet millions of years. Brothers and sisters, 68 trillion years. This earth has been here, and black people came with the planet. We've been here from the very beginning, all the way up until now. Only in the last 6,000 years have the white man ruled this planet. Only 6,000 years out of certain amount of trillions of years we ruled it. And so why is it taking so long to get it back? I'll tell you, you didn't have this knowledge. But with the knowledge now of who really has the rightful ownership of this planet, it's showing you how God yields nature over to us to create. George Washington Carver, you see what he did with peanuts? You go to prison and you'll see black people who made all kind of stuff to help them be able to live inside of those walls. Black people created these and invented these things. A hairbrush with toothbrushes melted together in something so they can brush their hair. Black people did it, and we still doing it because this earth yields to us. Why? Because we are the rightful owners of this world. We are the rightful owners of this planet. So it yields itself to us. The water, the wind, the rain yields itself to us because we are the rightful owners. So we got to come out of her mindset. We got to come out of her religion. You all have heard me say that before. Believe me, brothers and sisters, if you came out of religion, God will still be God. He ain't going to switch over because you ain't in religion. Brothers and sisters, he didn't create it no way. He didn't create religion. Can somebody get me a towel or some tissue? Thank you. Don't both of y'all. Yeah. He didn't create religion. Matter of fact, God was before religion. There was no religion when God stepped out on the scene and said be. None. You should not be, I'm talking to black people, you should not be fighting a war that white people have been fighting over 2,000 years. They've always been fighting this war between Islam and Christianity / Judaism. Call it what you want. Thank you. They've been fighting for over 2,000 years. And then here we come, Johnny come lately out of nowhere, taking a religion and running with it. They were First Baptist. Now we Second Baptist, Third Baptist, Fourth Baptist. That's us. And it all came from the Catholic Church, which we already know was nothing but a political arm of America, Italy, Poland, Britain, all throughout the world. And all the other religions kind of came from that. God ain't into religion. God ain't in your religion. And whatever your religion is, I'm talking to black people. I got to keep saying that because y'all might be thinking I'm talking to somebody else. Whatever your religion is, if it's Baptist, I just say if it's Christianity, if it's Islam, if it's Catholicism, and I'm going to stop there because these are the majors, then it's not your religion. It's theirs. It's the white man's. It's not yours. Come out. Come out of her religion. It's a tool that's used to cause division. And they've divided us all over the place. I've been hearing it for a while. I used to be a member of the pastors of Inglewood, and I was hearing so much division among black people fighting for the same cause, but yet fighting each other at the same time. I heard the Church of God in Christ talk about the Baptists. I couldn't believe it. Preachers. See, I couldn't wait to get up out of that place. You could tell them was Baptists. Did you smell all that cigarette smoke? I didn't even want to sit by that. Preachers. Big name preachers that you know. I couldn't name them for you. Talking like that. Divided among themselves. Come out of her diet. We can't eat like they eat. What they're eating is killing them and us. It said, come out of her so you won't suffer her plagues, her diseases. She has diseases. I'm talking about America and those who run America. I'm talking about white America. She's suffering and she's making you suffer. And sometimes we think that they love us when we go into the grocery store and see all that food. They can't be hating us, all this good food in the aisle, all that. Look at all of this good old food in here. When that man crazy over there talking about they hate us. Look at all this good food. Look, they even cook it for us. Let's take this over there, this little leg and wing, and they'll cook it for us for $1 extra. Oh my God, they love us. You're a damn fool. I have to say that. I'm talking to you YouTube and Facebook people. I'm about to close out. But I'll be back on Wednesday to finish this because we've been tricked. And food, we won't grow gardens like we're supposed to so that we can have our own fruits, our own vegetables. We're supposed to be vegetarians. You read the Bible all the time, but you don't want to hear that part where he said he gave you herbs as meat. That's what he said, but you don't want to hear that. You don't want to read the part when Daniel said, yeah, we slaves, but we don't want to eat the king's diet. You know, them big old ham hocks and all. We don't want to eat that. We don't want to eat all them pig legs and all that. No, we don't want that. Just give us bean soup and water. They fed the other prisoners the king's diet. And they said, when they brought Daniel and them before the king, it said that there was among them all was found none like Daniel and the other two. He said, in all matters of wisdom and understanding that the king inquired of them, he found them to be 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in all his realm. Why? Because he didn't eat their food, so he could think clearer. He didn't eat their food, so he could come up with ideas better and strategies better than they could because their minds were clouded with bull crap. You're not supposed to eat any meat. We weren't created to eat meat. Never were we created to eat meat. Let me tell you why before we close out. It's 128. Meat was given to us by God because of what happened in the garden. When that situation took place in the garden with Adam and Eve and this devil, he shortened the lifespan. People used to live 900, 1,000, 2,000, 7,000 years. He shortened it, but it wasn't going fast enough. They were still dying at 200 and 300. Say, no, that ain't enough. So he opened the way for them to eat meat. Brothers and sisters, meat shortens your days on this planet. That's what it was created to do, to shorten your life, not make it bigger. Not make you stay here longer. And then you'll say, well, my grandma 80, can she see you? With them cataracts and stuff from the food she ate. Can she walk? Can she run? Can your dad see? Can he think? What about dementia? Because of the diet. Because of what you want to eat other than what God has allowed us to eat. Come out of her diet. Don't eat nothing that this white man tell you is good. It's not good. I leave you as I greeted you. In peace, Hotep Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Baragani, Alafia, Ashe. See you Wednesday. Tune in, 7 p.m.
For joining us for our weekly Sunday worship service. We invite you and your family to join us live every Sunday at 616 East 71st Street at our new time from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. and on Facebook from 12:30 to 1 p.m. If you have enjoyed what you have heard, please feel free to support us with a monetary gift on Cash App at $TOMANATION. Once again, that's $TOMANATION. This will conclude our live stream. The message you have been listening to will continue live here at the Toma headquarters. We thank you, Black family. See you next Sunday. Black Power.
This is the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent.
How many men have children and the children never meet their father? See, you created a void in that child because you are a part of that child.
Power.